on there a fair few times, you know, and you know, I've heard what she's had to say in the past. So the first time I met her was there, you know what I mean? And you know, that's what we spoke about. And then, you know, for years later, for her to then, you know, speak to me about, you know, radio broadcast, you know, was an absolute blessing, man. So yeah, big up Noreen, big up all the Asian Network for, you know, for their support and, you know, inviting me to the masterclass to talk about how to make it as a presenter. And, you know, hopefully I was able to share some positive words for the up and coming people, man, or for people who want to get into this. You know, I hope I was able to shed a little bit of insight as to, you know, what goes on behind the scenes.
Wow, I think you owned it. You did very, very well. You're very real. You know, you're very grounded, and you give some great words of wisdom. You know, so
Thank you.
So can you quickly recap some of those words of wisdom?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, she, you know, we spoke about, you know, like my beginnings as an artist, and you know how I made that transition to broadcast, and you know, I highlighted and reflected on, you know, my education, because you know I'm very grateful. I had some great people around me, and I was able to learn both sides of this trade, you know, as a writer and a musician, and then also radio and broadcast. So you know, for me, it was an absolute dream, you know, learning about all of that, and then you know, years later to be actually broadcasting, as you say, F1 style, yeah,
Yeah.
and you know, just playing some amazing sounds. And so yeah, so words of wisdom. She asked me, you know, what did you do to you know, raise your profile? So I spoke about, you know, the things that I did do, which was just remain consistent, you know, stay focused, keep yourself current, you know, don't be stuck in a particular time frame of music, you know, appreciate those older sounds, but also be intact with the current sound and the future sounds, you know what I mean? So, you know, just keeping yourself, you know, in the loop of things, you know, making sure that you know, you're reading the news, and most importantly, you know, being yourself. You know, like Candyman and Reese, you know, mentioned, you know, they said, look, you know, don't try and be an imitation of somebody else. So always be yourself and be true to who you are. And, you know, I feel my main message was do it because you want to do it, because you love to do it. And, you know, just stay true to yourself, man.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Thank you for those wise words about being doing it for the love of it as well. That's important, because if you're just doing a job for the sake of it,
Yeah.
you know, just to make the mortgage, you know, well, then again, during times like this, people are just holding on to their jobs if they, you know, so
Yeah.
which is mad. So how has lockdown affected you as a firstly as a musician, and then secondly as a presenter?
Okay. I'd like to flip the answer first. So, as a presenter, it resulted in, you know, our shows becoming a lot more. You know, there were less shows basically for us to do, just based on scheduling. So for local radio in particular, you know, the format was, it was one presenter every 4 hours. So of course, you know, the schedule was very packed, you know, because it was about, you know, ensuring safety of numbers in the building, and, you know, reducing the amount of numbers, people mixing, etc. So, you know, it's something that I just had to, you know, to take in my stride. And, you know, I used that as an opportunity to basically focus on me and my family, you know, rather than, you know, working my 9 to 5 and then, you know, doing my 6 till 10 every day as a presenter, and prep and, you know, work behind the scenes. I was able to, you know, focus on myself, you know, get back onto my fitness, you know, playing football again. I was out with my son, you know, we were spending time in the park. I was training, and then I was like, right, okay, as fun as all this is, yo, I need to get back to the music, man. You know, there's songs in my head that I've got that I need to get back to pen and paper. So you know, it was a glorious summer, I have to say. You know, this Pichele Sal, it was an amazing summer. You know, from spring right to summer. Absolutely amazing weather, man. So that was a big inspiration, man. You know, rise with a smile with a rising sun, you know, as Marley said, yeah. So, you know, when we were in those 25 plus degrees outside, we had the paddling pool, I had the laptop out, bars were just coming out, you know, I was mixing outside. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, you know, the opportunity came for me to just go back to being me and being the writer and the musician, and you know, took it with both hands, man. You know, just absolutely went for it. Linked up with my bro JD from Birmingham. Me and him got back on production, which was superb. And you know, from there, you know, we wrote loads of nice beats together, man. And you know, from there, then came the collaboration. And the first collaboration last year was for a track called "The Change," which, you know, you very amazingly played for us, bro. So,
I
you know,
love
big
it. I love
like
it.
that. you know, and an amazing collab, you know, with my big brother JGSK from Leeds, Mahi Singh from Australia, you know, an amazing singer and vocalist, and of course Hummy Singh from Leicester. So yeah, you know, like 4 things on the mic, 5 including JD, 6 including my dad. So 6 things have come together, 7 including you in terms of the broadcast. So yeah, it's a sing thing. This, you get me? Absolutely proud.
Yo, I love the way you dropped that in there. And your dad, Mr. Inder Matharu, aka GoldFinger. Tell me more about your dad, legend.
Yeah, man. You know, big respect to the G finger, Mr. Inder GoldFinger. Yeah. You know, what can I say, bro? Tabla percussionist extraordinaire. One of the original members of British Asian hip hop group Fundamental from the late 80s into the 90s, you know, pioneers in their sound and what they did, you know, anti-racism, and, you know, they toured all over Europe, you know, pushing that freedom sound, you know, from Mother India to Countryman, you know, spoke about, you know, their troubles and experiences, you know, growing up and migrating to this country and everything the people had to go through. And, you know, from there, you know, linked up with the likes of Transglobal Underground and Natasha Atlas, you know, amazing, you know, fusion sounds, you know, through the 90s. And then, you know, went on from 1997 to link up with, you know, Manchester's finest Ian Brown from the Stone Roses when he went solo with Unfinished
Sick.
Monkey Business.
Sick.
And, you know, 20 years on the road with him, man, and Uncle Ian, man, and, you know, saw the whole world about 3 times. You know, Uncle Ian gave me, you know, the opportunity as a very young man to open up for him in front of a sold out, you know, arena for his crowd, you know, SilverFinger Singh on that stage as like a 16-year-old. So, you know, I'm just absolutely grateful for all those amazing opportunities that, you know, my father helped to provide for me, man, you know, so grateful.
Wow. And that's a massive salute to your dad. So so the name, because even Noreen Khan picked up on the name, so naturally GoldFinger was the dad.
Yeah.
SilverFinger is you.
Yeah, man.
What have you named your son?
Yeah, it's the thing that gets thrown quite a lot actually at me. No, it's all blessed, man. He's our diamond. Do you know what I mean? He goes up the category. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, oh, is it bronze finger? Yeah. I've heard it enough times, fam. Trust me, right? So yeah, no, he's the diamond, man, and you know, he's everything. You know why we do this. You know what I mean? Why we get up every day, man.
Damn
you know,
right.
sab parwar liya. You know what I mean? That's why we do ardas every day for everybody's good health and mental health and wealth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So absolutely, man. And you know, you'll see him now. He's made his first appearance for me in the upcoming music video for the car. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can't wait. Nothing but love.
You've mentioned the core. You know, listen, let's talk a bit about the core because I saw the I saw like a trailer to the video. I saw that and I thought it's brilliant. So where was it shot?
Okay. It was shot on our doorstep here in Chapeltown, you know what I mean, in Potter Newton. Potter Newton Park is where it was shot. And some bits were also filmed in Roundhay Park as well, which is just around the corner. So yeah, you know, it was shot locally here, you know, a beautiful summer's day. Some amazing things happened that day, man. Shout out to filmmaker Jan Wells for her expertise. You know, we had some other people involved now. Apologies, I can't recall their name. But, you know, they helped us with using drones and, you know, other bits of equipment and technology. So, yeah, it was a great vibe. You know, the track itself, you know, it's dedicated to my late grandmother who, you know, sadly passed on in 2012. And
rest in peace.
Absolutely, man. Well, you know, she's been smiling above us ever since that moment. You know what I mean? Like her last moments were with me hand in hand, and you know that's what I've written in the song. You know, on the back of that, you know, spent a lot of time reflecting, missing her. I was very young, you know, when she passed on, and yeah, you know. I think it was about 7 years later when, you know, when this song first came about, you know, I was missing her quite a lot. And I was like, you know, she loved reggae music. Yeah, Dav. You know, anytime Bob Marley was on, any reggae sounds, you know, she would love it. She would smile, you know, it was just a cool vibe. You know, she definitely digged the vibration of reggae. So when it came to dedicating a song towards her, that ultimately had to be the sound. It had to be the root of the beat.
Yeah.
So yeah, put some vibes together, and then collaborated with other musicians, Aftar Lotta on the Darshanai. Absolutely just enhanced, the sound, fusion specialists in the GoldFinger and Celt Islam to really bring the beat to life on the back of the skeleton that I put together. And as soon as we had all of that in place, that's when the lyrics came out. And literally, it didn't take too long. It was literally all Sabitila Kiasiga already, bro. So it was just literally getting it out from here and vocalize it and get it down on a piece of paper, and it was just reminiscing on all those great times growing up, all the amazing lessons that she taught me of courage and strength, not to give up, always pray. And then we got to, collaborate with local singer-songwriter Manuka, who's out in India at the moment in Goa. So she's doing big things out there. Big respect to Maluk, aka Fluky Music, who helped us record her vocal in his studio.
Wow. So how did you actually connect with Manuka in the first place?
I've known her for a long time, a very long time. We all went to the same school. She's a few years below me. She's actually in my sister's year. So I've known about her talent, for a very long time, and grateful that the opportunity came for us to finally collaborate. And what an amazing project to collaborate on.
Very, very true. You eventually settled with the artwork, with the white artwork, which is beautiful. I love that. I love that. So, which is because the artwork's pretty significant in itself. I've never seen anything like it. It's just direct to the point, and it burns an image into your mind.
Respect.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Yeah, the original artwork, I wanted it to be I had originally with the core in the middle, with the talwar, behind that we had the word core written in several South Asian languages. But yeah, I think the decision was best not to muddy the image at all. Just keep it focused on what it needs to be. But yeah, I'll drop that onto my stories one day if you guys want to still see that. That's still there. But I think the ultimate decision was just keep it focused. And keep the image the focal point. So thank you, Dav. You were involved in that creative process as well. So appreciate your feedback along the way. An absolute blessing. So yeah, 2018 is when I first started the beat. Yeah, and then it was summer of 2019 when Manuka vocalized it, and then we finally mixed it. We shot the video at the back end of summer 2019, and then we were like, right, it's there. We had Ektar to come out early 2020, so we were like, right, holy, we'll get that finished and done. And obviously, this very difficult moment struck the earth, with the pandemic from December last year. Yeah. So many people lost their lives, so many people have struggled, and it's been very tough. So as musicians, there's been one half of the sword where it's like, look, do we release music in this difficult moment? People are already stressed, but then the other half is, well, look, release the music because people need that outlet as well, don't they? And they need that positive vibe to uplift them. So holy, we got the video done. It got finished in December last year, and we are now literally 3 days away from the release of this track, man. So, I'm glad we didn't rush it out. I'm glad it's coming out when it is coming out. Sab likhya bella, innit? Sab markiya the laya, and as and when it's due to happen, it's due to happen. And here we are talking about it today on RadiAsian, the #1 station for the what, Dav? What's it for?
For the Asian invasion.
All right then.
Many people may feel offended by the whole Asian invasion thing.
Yeah.
Because there's some pretty hardcore racists like in Dagenham.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the documentaries. I've been there, man. The Seven Kings, shout out to my Bogle family out there. I've seen it, bro.
Loving it. Absolutely loving it. I'm still in awe of the fact that you opened the stage for Ian Brown, from the Stone Roses, because Fool's Gold is one of my most favourite tracks from the Stone Roses.
Serious? Amazing. Yeah, wow. I loved it when GTA San Andreas featured it Yeah, and then Ian and my dad and everybody was out in America anyway at that time, and they got to go to the party, the Rockstar launch and everything else, and I've got this like amazing San Andreas hoodie and stuff like that. So yeah, big vibes, and Bez and everybody making an appearance in there as well. Sean Ryder, sorry, shall I say? So big vibes, man. But yeah, Uncle Ian, what can I say? An absolute legend. Showed me so many amazing lessons of strength as well, growing up as a young artist. Opened many doors for me, provided me the platform. I'll never forget, like one of my youngest moments meeting him was at Leeds General Refectory, which is part of the uni.
Yeah.
Like people like Damian Marley have performed there live, Bob Marley's performed there live too. So many great artists throughout the years. And yeah, I remember my grandmother came to sound check and, I just remember them two just sat having a chat. I was like a super young kid. I remember he had like an Ericsson mobile phone. So it just goes to show how old that time was back in the day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. With like a little aerial on it. I remember him. So yeah, big respect for Ian. I think I've had the opportunity to support him now, I think about 6 times, throughout my career, and Full House. I remember one notorious time when I was in Sheffield, O2 Academy, and I sang a song called Reppin' Leeds, which was one of my sort of first songs that really got me out there. And obviously, there was a little bit of that West Yorkshire, South Yorkshire tension there. I heard a couple of boos in the crowd when I'm like, we're Reppin' Leeds. So yeah, good vibes, man. But ultimately, lots of people loved it. I had a lot of people come up to me after the show, and no matter which show we've done, I've always had a lot of love shown by the people, man. So nothing but love and respect to everybody who's actually gone out their way to come and speak to me. Because a lot of people don't have to, you know what I mean, Dav? Yeah. So, yeah, big respect to the King, Ian Brown, for all his contribution, amazing musicians he's had in his band, throughout the years, Aziz Ibrahim and Inder GoldFinger, just to name the South Asian influence on his music, man. So, big up right there, man. And, it was great because in 2019, Aziz and Inder went on tour to celebrate 20 years of the first release of Unfinished Monkey Business. And, we were part of what's called the Monkey Business Tour. And, we toured all up and down the UK, even went to Amsterdam to perform live as well. Wicked. It was an absolute vibe, man, I have to say, bro. Yeah, we performed live on a ferry, bro. Yeah, from Hull to Rotterdam, and we were performing live on that boat, bro.
How amazing.
Great vibes.
How amazing is that?
Great vibes.
I just realised it's dawned on me there's a significance of GoldFinger and SilverFinger, which I think that's a title given to ability for percussion, because for someone to say to you, you got the GoldFinger means you're sick on a tabla, you must be that brilliant on it. So which means that you're brilliant at percussion as well.
Thank you. Yeah, man. I mean, he's called the GoldFinger because, no matter what he touch, he's got that Midas touch, man, from tabla to vocals to production, Mr. GoldFinger, man, what can I say? Big respect, pioneer, from late 80s, early 90s, for British Asian people, man, representing Gold Bag Banke, you get me, Chitti Bag on that stage, absolutely representing to the highest, man. So, yeah, big respect. And, yeah, naturally, growing up, when my father's friends would come over for jam sessions and catch ups, or late night drop my father back home after gigs and all the rest of it, and they'd always address me as Young Silver. So it's a title that sort of stuck to me. But if I'm honest with you, Dav, it's a title that I had to grow strong enough to then embrace.
Yeah. Trust me.
Yeah, you don't want to just go do a dakam, you get me? Because at the end there, look, we're there's a pride element here, you know what I mean? So, you got to represent your father's name, and if you're going to do it, you got to do it Judge Denali, you get me, fam? So, ultimately, I had to, gain strength before I could fully embrace that name. But yeah, big respect to everybody, who helped me, as part of the lineage, and embrace that as well for me, as calling me Young Silver and, pushing me towards music, because a lot of people, if they wanted to, they could have disregarded that and pushed me to other directions. So I'm grateful for everybody who, mere chatite, tapala to say, yo, listen, keep going. So big up.
Well, to be honest, you're not just going, you're actually kicking ass. There's a difference because look.
All right.
I'm serious. January 2018, Education Road, right? And I listened through that, and there's one track in particular, The Struggle. and
All right.
I thought Singh is dropping pure fire. So would you say that's your story?
Yeah, I mean, the education road for me started at 15, the age of 15, when, I spent, my early years, just to very quickly recap, early years, I remember listening to, No Reservations, yeah, Apache Indian on CD, yeah. My father brought that home, and it was a promotional copy, a copy that you could just get from the stores, you get me, yeah? We had our Pioneer decks. And, I grew up listening to those kind of sounds, man. And, it was, influenced by that kind of movement, you know what I mean? Yeah, to see an Indian brother dropping raga reggae, fast flows, yeah, way ahead of its time. On the back of that, listening to all these other artists, Naughty by Nature, NWA, all the, amazing hip hop sounds that my father introduced me to, Nas, Biggie Smalls, Tupac, just to name a few. Yeah. The list goes on forever, Big L, Punisher, you name it. So, ultimately for me, it was, a lot of time, studying the music, learning the music, breathing the music, singing along, and then, then came the time of Snoop, Dre, Eminem, all these amazing, producers, lyricists, flows. And then, from there, learned tabla from my father, and I had the opportunity to learn tabla as well from Sukhvinder Singh Pinky as well. I was part of some summer schools with them.
No way.
Tabla Jedi as well, yeah, big bro right there, and great to see him sharing his story on the Asian Network as well on Wednesday just gone. So big respect right there, man. And holy, I got to the microphone, and it was actually through singing Shabad at the Gurdwara. That's my first experience of microphone use and technique. Yeah, from there I just thought, right, okay, I can use this as well as my hands. I can use my voice. Amazing. Right then, what can we do? And I was about 15, and that was the time of Wiley, Soul Solid Crew, them kind of people, garage, yeah, the OG UKG sounds, yeah. They, spent a lot of time listening to them kind of sounds and fast flows and learning from that, and then we started writing lyrics. And then from there, we started, we had a CLC in our school, Allerton Grange High School is where I studied. And there was a city learning centre there, and there was a Mackie desk in there, Dav, with a G5 setup, Logic Pro, yeah? Wow. That was my first experience of doing it on my own, because there's a lot of studios in Leeds, Brickwall Studios on Chapeltown Road, one of the biggest reggae studios, yeah? Spent a lot of time in there as a young man, just learning and observing. All these amazing musicians and engineers. They, using that experience, then went to the CLC, started writing my own songs. And, me and my best friend Saju, who's representing Leeds Young Authors, and, he has done slam poetry all over the world, man, representing Leeds, yeah, global scales. And on the back of that, that's when my musical journey began. And, songs like United in This, heavily dub driven, Come Together, that's what that song represents. Punjabi ID, all about embracing your roots, don't forget who you are, be proud of who you are. Step Back, a reflection of being a British Asian in the north, all the tough times that I've had to go through growing up, people laughing, seeing my skin colour, seeing my bug, seeing my beard, seeing who I am, yeah, name calling, all the rest of it, yeah. So Step Back was a reflection on all that negativity, to say, step back, don't make assumptions about anybody until you've walked in their shoes, yeah.
Very true.
Out of This World, an amazing collaboration with Michael Mallinson from Baildon, yeah, great singer. And, he was doing that Bieber thing before Bieber did it. You get what I'm trying to say, fam? It just goes to show people in the right place and the right time. He had that young, cool, rock, hip-hop look about him, do you know what I mean? And he was doing it. He had the hair, and he had the voice as well to do it, man. So big respect to him for helping me push that right there, man, yeah? And then Questions, R&B, Punjabi fusion alongside an amazing singer-songwriter, Faye Kenny. Comes from an amazing musical family. Big up to her brother Lee Kenny, LSK. Absolute international people. Her big sister as well, Rihanna. Worked with the likes of Faithless. Just absolutely amazing talent. musicians included on there, you know, Chris Dawkins on guitar, who's, you know, done bits for Ocean's 11 soundtrack, Kenny Higgins, who's toured with the likes of Kareem Belly Ray. So, you know, loads of amazing musicians came together to help me put together the Education Road, all recorded at Kalish Studios with amazing engineer called Leslie Coleman, who's, you know, put together some of the baddest reggae sounds from Leeds and beyond, really. Yeah. So, you know, that was meant to be a quick recap, that wasn't it?
Oh, it's good. It's good. I love it.
Oh, bless, man. So yeah, the Education Road, you know, it was something that I started at the age of 15 and finally released 15 years later, believe it or not. You know, it was a very long time that it took, you know, to finalize it, but ultimately things happen for a reason. You get me, fam. So ultimately, I'm glad it finally came out. And, you know, big respect to everybody who supported the movement since then, man. You know, 2 amazing music videos, Step Back and Punjabi ID, out now on YouTube, celebrating its 3rd anniversary, as you very kindly mentioned, in January. So, yeah, over the moon, bro. Sorry if I've gone on a bit there.
No, do not apologize for going on a bit, because you didn't go on a bit. The show is about you, so the listeners can learn about you. That's the most. I want to add something. 20 years ago, bro, I saw Pinky perform at Wolverhampton University, and I was blown away. So if you've learned from Pinky, you're dangerous. I'm not lying.
What can I say? Listen, you know, that absolute legend right there, Ustadji, yeah. So many amazing people have gone to him, you know what I mean, for their. So at the end of the day, look, I'm not saying I'm anything. All I'm saying is I'm glad I had the opportunity to sit down with the man, you know, and learn some amazing lessons of life, you know, not necessarily just tabla, you know, they shared some amazing life lessons as well. So yeah, big respect, man. But ultimately, you know, if it wasn't for my father, showing me, then the rest of it doesn't count. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So big respect to everybody, man, who sits down, because at the end of the day, it's an art. You know, John Grimar get better new. Yeah, to Riaz, bro.
Yeah, that's hard.
That's art in itself. Yeah. So yeah, man. Big up,
bro. And do you know what it is? I think salute for you to, you know, passing on the knowledge to your son, you know, Diamond. So at the end of the day, because that's a big thing. So it's a big thing. So let's say I could teach my son to be a sound engineer and a producer. We have these skills, and I think a lot of real world ability is passed on. You can't just acquire. I mean, you can get so far with the academic institution. The rest of it could be either your DNA and the people around you, the environment you're in. I think I watched this documentary talking about how many Wimbledon champions. They all trained and they'll live within the same sort of locality, you know. So it seems very, very interesting stuff over there.
It's interesting, bro.
It is. What
There's
else?
a saying in it, Dav. There's a saying in it. Each one teach one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Each one teach one, man. So you know, there's been you know, at the end of the day, look, my motto in life is this. Yeah. Whatever. If you can share something with somebody, share it. You know, why keep it with you? Because one day, you know, right? When you leave this dirty, if you've kept everything within you and not shared it with anybody, then, you know, what's your contribution been? Do you get what I'm trying to say? At the end of the day, look, you know, Malik has put us on this earth to, you know, to do good things, support each other, share knowledge with each other. At the end of the day, look, what's the teacher's role? Teacher's role is to pass on this information to here, and then hopefully that keeps on going down the line, man. So it's our responsibility to ensure that we're passing on education and messages to each other, man.
Very, very true, my brother. Very, very true. So, January 2018, Education Road. February 2020, Ekta under Eastern Pressure Records. August 2020, Believer. So how Mixed Up and Ubermatic, how did that come about?
Yeah, man. Ekta, you know, we touched upon it earlier. So unique collaboration with Celt Islam and local vocalist and overall bad man, Ubermatic, yeah? Long Dread. Absolute big respect for him right there, man. You know, he's what you call a real grafter, you know, Dav. You know, I remember seeing him at Ian Brown gigs when I was very, very young. He was doing roadie work and stuff like that, you know, lugging and, you know, equipment on and off and all the rest of it, yeah? So I've seen him for a very, very long time. in my life. You know, he's a good close friend of my father's as well. They've done work together as well over the years. You know, so you know, Ekta, getting him involved on that was a big thing for me. And you know, he helped me sing, you know, the hook, and then on the back of that, you know, everybody loved it, and we've been on the road, you know, we've toured, we've been on stage, we've been performing, and from there came the Believer rhythm. Shout out to Mixed Up, Mick Lake, local legend, musician, events manager. You know, him and his family puts on an event called DROPLeeds, and yeah, it's at a local events hall called the Primrose Pub. Yeah, the Primmy. They provide that platform for up and coming artists. It's a night out. You know, I do miss it. It was always at the end of every month. It was the last Friday of every month. Yeah, and I miss it because, you know, that was our catch up with everybody. You know, all the hip hop heads, all the rock heads, dub heads, jungle heads. Everybody would just come together in that an amazing melting pot. Yeah. So yeah, you know, big shout out to them, man, there. And you know, they also provided me opportunities, you know, to headline events, to support other acts as well in my time. And you know, he loved the Ekta. You know, on the back of that, he was like, right, look, I've got this rhythm here that I'd love for you to put your vibe on. So I'm all right, let's hear it, Mick. You know, big respect to you. You've done a lot for me in terms of support over the years. So, you know, why not? You're doing music, let's do something, yeah? So, you know, got the dub rhythm off him and, you know, played it loud on some big speakers, man. And I felt it straight away. I was like, yo, that's when the hook came to me. I'm a believer.
Sick.
You know, find strength from the sun, wave goodbye to the people who always do wrong. That's what came to me straight away, man. And, you know,
love it.
The lyrics just flowed. Watch me jump around, let me trainers have spring, ready to fly away. Watch me spread out my wing, you know. So yeah, it's all thanks to, you know, encouragement and love and support from the people, you know, to put them good vibes and good wishes in me, man. And you know, that's the overall expression, you know. And that's reflections on, you know, being on the road, seeing people, interactions, you know, seeing love, seeing hate. That's the outcome.
Wow. I'm just looking at your 2020 releases, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 releases in 2020.
Yeah, I think it stretches to 6.
6, because the core technically finished that there. And
so then we'll round it up to 7 as well then, because there's another release that I featured on, which was released in Thailand. So shout out to Niall Flynn, Graffiti Bridge Studios. What an amazing bunda. You know, he spent a lot of time with the likes of George Michael, you know, as part of his studio team, you know, so big respect to him. You know, shout out to Fluky Music for making that happen for me. And yeah, you know, that was a highlight of my summer, man. Some real funk vibes, man, you know, from LA to Thailand to Leeds, bro. So big up. So yeah, 7 releases last year. What an absolute blessing, man. So thank you, big man.
Wow. So how did because I originally heard of you from Hungama featuring Asher J. So how did that collaboration come about?
Oh yes. Yo, what an amazing collaboration. First of all, huge shout out to my sister Asher J. Yeah, big love for her and all the amazing things that she's doing, you know, in terms of empowering people, motivational talks, music, fitness, health, you name it. Yeah, that sister is working hard. So big up to her. And yeah, you know, her and her people approached me, you know, with regards to the original Hungama, the table, you know, to feature it on our radio show at BBC Leeds, and fell in love with it straight away, man. You know, what an amazing production. Shout out to Alan Zipper, you know, rap master Rav on the production there, and Asher J on the vocals, man. And as soon as I heard it, I fell in love with the track, man. I absolutely fell in love with it, you know. And I've got a lot of time and respect for her for all the great things that she does. And then this sound in particular, just like, yes, Asian fusion at its finest, my bro Dav. So yo, had to absolutely, you know, support that song. And as you do, you know, you listen back to the, you know, the mixtape after it's been recorded, you know, you hear it live on broadcast. You know, I try to never miss my own broadcast, yeah. You know, heard it in its full glory. You know, I always play my stuff loud. Well, not too loud, but, you know, on loudspeaker rather than headphones. You know, you feel the weight of the music. You know, I heard it and I was just like, I absolutely love this song. I love exactly what she's singing. I love the beat. And I just made a very polite request. I was like, yo, sister, love this track. I'd love to do a remix of it. And her and her people, very kindly accepted my proposal to say, yeah, you know, we'd love for you to remix it. So what an amazing vibe. They got the stems over to me. And, you know, then came the rap. And the rap's all about, you know, being amazed by, you know, this wonderful woman in my life, yeah, who's my wife, obviously, Mrs. Silver, yeah. So the the lyrics came through her influence, you know, from her influence, all the amazing moments we've spent together, you know, over these last 12 years. You know, it just came so beautifully, you know what I mean? The lyrics came quite fast. We then recorded it. We then, you know, stripped the beat back. You know, I wanted to understand the beat a bit more, looked for the different areas that, you know, we could influence further through double and percussion, you know, laid that down, put some amazing spiral thrash cymbals on it as well, you know, from Zildjian. You know, so there's a lot of superb, you know, pieces of metal work on there as well, done by my dad, you know, really buzzing about that. And then we took it to Prospect Studios. You know, I did the first mix here at Red Lion Studios in our house, and then, you know, took it to Prospect, and, you know, lo and behold, man, you know, put together an amazing sound, you know, truly groundbreaking in my humble opinion, you know, because it's a unique flavor, bro. You know, I've never heard a sound like that, and especially, you know, with the extra work that we put into it. It was just, you know, it was just a dream come true for me as a producer and somebody who loves music. It's just like, yeah, it's everything I've always wanted to do. So, you know, big respect to AJ Music Records for helping us release this remix on their label. We got the video put together, you know, thanks to Jan Wells and Asher J's people. Apologies, I've forgotten his name off the top of my head. But, you know, amazing people, you know, put it all together, and, you know, we released it, and it had a lot of support. You know, shout out to all the radio stations who played it, you know, from Sabras to RadiAsian, you know, just to name a few. You know, Leica Radio, you know, just so many different places supported it, man. Punjab 2000, shout out to Inder Matharu, you know, she put it in her highlight of the week. You know, it was just an absolute amazing vibe, you know, when this track released. And, you know, just going to round that off by sending another massive shout out to Asher J. You know, thank you for all her love and support to me for, you know, putting this together and helping us release it, man. So big respect right there. And make sure you check out her brand new EP as well.
Respect, my brother. Respect. Then you've already discussed the change, which is November 2020, December 2020. Now this track is so different, and I love this track as well. The Real Deal. Tell me about it.
Okay, so yeah, shout out to my Scouse brother Martin Morrison. You know, what a journey me and him have been on together. So he first introduced me, interviewed me back, I believe it must have been sort of 2017, yeah, middle of 2017 is when he first interviewed me on a local radio station here called Radio Sangam. Shout out to Kessa, yeah. You know, we spoke about, you know, the music and the work. You know what? Apologies, I've gone wrong on the dates there. It was 2018 because it was after Education Road, so he was part of my radio tour. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he helped promote Education Road for us. So big respect. And yeah. You know, we did the interview, and then, you know, I learned afterwards that, he goes, Raj, I can sing, you know, bro. I was like, wow, let me hear you. Heard his voice, and I was just like, yo, let's do something, you know, absolutely. You know, loved his energy, his passion, and his vocal range. I was like, yo, you know, we can definitely do something. He goes, I've got this song here that I've been working on, you know, and I've performed it live over the years, and I thought, all right, let's hear it. And then, you know, lo and behold, we got together. So shout out to DJ Psyker. We sat down in the Lyrically Justified recording studio, and that's when we set it, you know, into Logic. You know, the roots of the song is put together by an instrument called a sitar guitar, which is just amazing. You know, tuned towards the sargam of sitar, but it's actually a guitar. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes, bro.
That's amazing.
I mean, bro, I'm going to flip it here, yeah? So, you know the violin, yeah?
Yeah.
So, in Eastern culture, we play it that way. We don't play it with the bridge on our neck.
We don't, yeah.
It's that way around, fam. Did that, yeah? So, it's because that's the vibe of the bow. You get what I'm saying, yeah? So, that's how so it's the same thing, you know what I'm saying? It's just enhanced in a different way. So, yeah, sitar guitar, absolutely an amazing sound. So, yeah, so he's strumming away, giving us that, you know, that northern Liverpool, Manchester vibe, yeah? And then he's brought it to me, going to bring that Leeds hip hop to it, yeah? So we've brought that Leeds hip hop on top of his guitar. Then I said, right, let's get you to sing the song. he sings his song, yeah, an amazing vibe. And then that's when the gap came for me, for my bars, yeah. So my 16 bar on that track, once again, influenced through, the trials and tribulations of love. So, at the end of the day, every experience is a blessing from God, whether it be negative or positive, because it's a foundation to grow, so yeah, the real deal, all about trials and tribulations of love, how difficult it can be at times. Somebody on your left says throw in the towel, somebody on the right says no to there's still time for you to get back on your feet. So yeah, an amazing, a collaboration for me, very unique, influenced, thanks to the people like Ian Brown and Aziz and Inder in my life, who pushed me to many different sounds. And that for me, the real deal was, East meets West at its finest. It's indie fusion, Punjabi fusion, all together with hip hop. So big shout out to, Martin Morrison, for coming to me with the idea, and I'm so grateful, that Prospect Studios helped me finalize it. Shout out to the WINACHI tribe as well for their inclusion. Richard Ritchie on the bass, Mike B on guitar, in the GoldFinger tabla percussion, me on drums, Mike Morrison on vocals. So yeah, man, big up yourselves, everybody.
Wow. Talk to me about your actual process. So let's say you mentioned Logic.
Yeah.
Is that the digital audio workstation you use in the studio? You got a studio at home?
Yeah, man. Redline Studios in the house.
Yes.
Named after my granddad, Lal Singh Matharu. You get me? So yeah.
Salute.
Yeah. I mean, look. At the end of the day, look. You stick to what you know. Yeah. Big up, Dav. You stick to what you know. Yeah. So ultimately, as I mentioned earlier, CLC. I saw. My training was done on a Mac G5 Logic Pro 7. Yeah. And for me, that was it. So it's like, once you've got your vehicle, yeah, you then just stick to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of friends who work on Windows, so we're not going to go down Windows and Mac route in this conversation today. Let's keep it positive. Yeah? But at the end of the day, look, I know people who've done, big tracks on Fruity Loops, Cubase, Acid Pro, Logic, Reason, at the end of the day, look, they're all good. Yeah, you fill it with fuel, you crack on. Yeah, you get to your destination. So yeah, for me, Logic has always been my backbone. It's what I learned. It's what I studied. It's what I learned. So, in studios like Kalish, we use Pro Tools, bro. Pro Tools HD. Yeah. Avid, Waves, plugins. Some of the best vibes I've ever come across. Yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it's they all do the same thing fundamentally, yeah, because that's why they're designed. It's to help people process, if you haven't got analog equipment, to get some of the coolest sounds and unique flavors out of audio. So to answer your question, Dav, I've always been a Logic guy, and then went to Pro Tools HD.
Wow. I think I've avoided Pro Tools for 20 years, and I think when I first started out, we were taught. The guy who had the course was a guy called Pete Williams, and he was the bassist for Dexy's Midnight Runners, which is Come On Eileen. So we used to use, because Pro Tools was so butt ugly back then, right? That they used eMagic's Logic as a front end for the Pro Tools hardware.
Yes, I remember.
But it's very, very functional, and to mix on, it's absolutely superb. So I've had to learn Pro Tools over the last few years, and one thing which I found was important to me. There's an app when I used to use mobile phones, which I don't use anymore, which shows all the Pro Tools shortcuts, and you can practice them when you're on the tube or when you're on the bus.
Sick, like keyboard shortcuts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, the whole education road was fundamentally all mixed on Pro Tools HD, recorded on, mixed on a Mackie desk with, a mixture of both analog and digital, modulation and effects and processing and compression. So, an absolutely great vibe. I mean, doing that, and then, moving on now to Prospect Studios, which, they've definitely evolved over the last, 10 years, in terms of their outboard equipment. They're working magic there, man. So, shout out to my bro Luke, head engineer there. He's doing some amazing things with his outboard modulation. We're using like valve compression and, we could get really techie, but yeah, it's really, really cool. I love sitting down with him. We're practically the same age, man. And, I just love, bouncing off him. He bounces off me, and yeah, it's just a real vibe, man.
What I've picked up talking to you about Leeds in particular, you have like a strong musical sort of community. And now, because of lockdown, which was what was the name of that pub again, where everyone meets up at
Primrose.
The Primrose, and now.
I'm just gonna get a tissue. Yeah,
sorry. Yeah. No worries, bro.
It's a bit leaky over here.
Whoa, I hope you're okay, bro.
No, it's cool. It's just very icy here this morning, and went for a run just before this, and yeah, can feel my nalia coming on.
Boris, so, yeah, get to his door. He'll be there with the injection to give it to you, man.
No. We all blessed, man. We all blessed. Listen, at the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, as long as we maintain health, eat good food.
Yeah.
Get them right nutrients in you. Get that SAG, get that
SAG.
Yeah, bro. Get that protein in. Yeah. Get them good vibes in. Get that adduct in you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all the goodness, man. Drink that ginger tea. Yeah.
Sing.
Stay fit, healthy.
Favorite food?
Right. So, I mean, look, Punjabi at the end of the day, man. I love my Punjabi food. Yeah, I love my Vishnu Khana. You get me? Yeah, I love that. It's the foundations of who I am. But if I'm gonna say, if you want to win the key to my heart, a Thai green curry any day, man. That's
really
me.
Okay.
Yeah, I love my Thai green. Yeah, one of my favorite dishes. Look, I love the coconut. I think it's the coconut for me.
Wow.
I love the coconut, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it. So, I've got friends and family out in Thailand, man. So hopefully, yeah, we're gonna get out there, man. It's on my missus's bucket list to go for one of her birthdays. Yeah. So hopefully one day we'll be out there. Yeah. So yeah, love my Punjabi food, love my Italian food. Obviously love my British food. Yeah, as a Yorkshireman, love my Yorkshire pudding and my veggie sausages and my gravy. Yeah, me love all them things there. Yeah. You know what? Funniest thing about that actually was Top Gear last year.
Yeah.
I forgot what he called it now, man. But winter warmer. Did you see his winter warmer last year?
No, I didn't. I don't have
right.
I'll check it out.
Yo, Paddy McGuinness, Freddie Flintoff, Chris Harris, absolutely brilliant journalists and broadcasters, yeah, on the telly. And Top Gear last year, so they had this ice cream truck for the beach, yeah, absolutely amazing, right? And it's my winter warmer. He goes, what is it? So it's an ice cream cone, right? It's got mash, sausage, peas. So your peas are your sprinkles, and then you need juice. It's gravy, bro. So yeah, that's what you call a real northern ice cream right there, bro. So winter warmers. So yeah, love all different types of food, but yeah, key to my heart, Thai green curry, yeah, big up.
and the winter warmer as well to finish it off. That's brilliant. I love it. So okay, I was going to ask you who inspires you and motivates you musically, but you've pretty much answered that. But if you want to add to that,
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, growing up, as I mentioned, influenced by a lot of, reggae and hip hop, so, Marley Foundation, as I mentioned, East Coast hip hop, Nas, Biggie, West Coast hip hop, Tupac and, Dre and Snoop and, all these amazing artists, yeah, who were at the forefront of urban music. And then, more closer to home, you've got people like RDB absolutely representing, man, like literally down the road, yeah. Untouchables music shop, we used to go in there, buy the cassettes, come home or play it in the car on the way home, great vibes, yeah. Sick. So influenced, from the likes of RDB to Apache Indian, and then, alongside them people there, like Gubby Sundu, Mets and Tricks, all these cool people that, used to absolutely represent Leeds, yeah. Maybe not from Leeds, but absolutely came here and represented Leeds, at daytime gigs and all the rest of it. And then, influences from, my Uncle Lee and all those amazing people around him, from the Primal Screams to, the Oasis, of course, Stone Roses, all that circuit. And then, influenced by, the sounds of my today, the likes of, the Damian Marleys of this world, and, the Jay-Z's, and the Kanye's, the people that, really, really pushed out, during that sort of, 90s millennium era. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, for me, my go-to will always be Michael Jackson, the absolute king,
Wow.
he will always be my go-to, no matter what day. It's him, man. I've still got my dad's original Thriller vinyl, yeah, from back in his teenage years. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we've still got that knocking about the house, and that's what was on that turntable quite a lot growing up for me, man. So
Wow.
yeah. And people that are around me right now, they continue to inspire me. So like presenters like yourself, artists who are my friends, so many amazing people. I don't want to necessarily name drop, because then I might miss a few people out, so that's not fair. Yeah. But I've got so many great musicians and artists who are around me right now, and they keep motivating me as well, my bro. So at the end of the day, goes back to the original saying, each one teach one. Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Your 3 favorite songs from other artists, and why?
Okay. What, as in other artists around me, or just music that I've grown up listening to in general?
Anyone but your own work.
Okay. All right. Okay. So okay. So I'm going to answer the question by 3 songs that influenced me growing up. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So I would say, I mean, it's a big list. Yeah. That's a big list, man. But to narrow it down to 3, I would say, I'd like to start with Let's Go With Apache. Yeah.
Yes.
No Reservations album. Yeah. Choc Day, you get me. Yeah. We'll start with that. I remember that being heard like on my 4th birthday party. Do you know what I mean? Pass the Parcel. That was the song that we played for Pass the Parcel. I'll never forget that. Yeah. So yeah, big, influence, big respect to him, everything that he's done. Quick little mention there for his honour from the Queen on the British Empire Medal. Yeah.
Salute to that.
Music. Big up to him and everything that that he's pushing. Yeah. In terms of the music. So yeah, so I'd say that right there, because that was a song from my very, very infant childhood. Yeah. I'm gonna next go Eminem Stan.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sick.
Right. Fast flows, storytelling, unique production there. Him and Dre. That album, Marshall Mathers LP, like next level. Yeah. Massive influence. And what he did was he broke boundaries. Yeah. As a Caucasian rapper. Yeah. He broke boundaries with that album, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that track right there is legendary. Yeah. From a production to, from a vocal take, from a lyrical perspective, everything about it. Yeah. Big influence on my life. Final song. It's tough, like I said, but I'm just trying to go through the archives here underneath my bag, right?
I love it.
So yeah, I think them 2 are nice selections. Final has to be, Welcome to Jamrock, Damian Marley. Yeah, absolutely massive worldwide anthem, which once again highly influenced me. My sound, and I'll never forget the time, when I got to meet Julian Marley when he came here to Leeds, at the park for the reggae show. Got to meet him as a very young age, spoke to him about his father, just like it was, I spoke about him, yeah, and how he's doing, but I said, look, fam, I'm going to have to speak to you about your father right now, tell me. And yeah, he shared some nice vibes with me that day, man. So yeah, give thanks every time. So I'll never forget when Damien came to Leeds. I've had the pleasure of seeing him twice now. When he came to Leeds. Now, never had the opportunity to meet him, but I've got friends who have met him. Yeah. And just nothing but good vibes, man. So yeah, what he stands for, the revolution, that he's pushing, representing his father's name. I sort of see a bit of a similarity between him and I. You get what I'm saying? That second generation, pushing his father's name through the music, and pushing out them, them big vibes and those strong messages of unity. So yeah, they're my 3 songs right there. There's so many other artists that that I want to put in there. I'm gonna have to just go for it now. RDB, Dil Karda, all those amazing
Sick.
sounds, growing
Sick.
up for me.
Sick.
So many other artists, but yeah, I'd say that them are the top 3 right there. Yeah, nice.
Respect, man. What an answer. Really, really well. I'm sorry if I put you on the spot there.
It's all good, man.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You handled it well. So but now regarding, have you ever lost motivation or hit a hurdle, and how did you handle it?
Yeah. At the end of the day, look, we're all human. We're certainly not robots. Yeah. We all have good days. We all have bad days. We are all influenced by the vibrations that are around us. So yeah, there's been lots of times of hardship. As mentioned, particularly around the time of losing my grandmother. That for me was probably one of the biggest moments of my life in terms of difficulty. Yeah. So at the end of the day, in terms of motivation, because as mentioned, Education Road started at 15, with the overall journey. And at the end of the day, there were external factors that caused delays in the progression of the album. But as mentioned, at the end of the day, just going back to, Jo Likya or Jado Kuch Odo Yoga, you get me? So at the day, I had to just remain patient. I'm grateful that I had, friends around me who kept me enthused, who kept me motivated, even when I felt that things weren't going right. But at the end of the day, when you're in that reflection of, what, is it actually going right? There's actually more going for you than you realize. Do you know what I mean? Yes.
Thank you
it's
for
about,
that.
it's about enhancing and just remembering, what the good things are. Yeah, I like that Tamba glass you got there, fam. Yeah. So, there were times, bro, there were some very, very low moments. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Right. Some very, very low moments. And I'm just grateful for, some great people around me, some very good practice in cognitive mental thinking. Yeah. And exercises to help nourish upstairs. Yeah. Now I'm dropping our meditation, just remembering the basics, man, because at the end of the day, look, we're all on this road, this rat race, trying to progress and trying to get there and be the first and, be the best to do it and all the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
But whilst you're doing that, you've got to then remember the basics. And we talk about this all the time. Yeah, Dad?
Yeah,
humbling yourself, grounding yourself,
True.
Remembering the basics. Now I'm dropping out, one shocking out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So at the end of the day, you've got to give and receive, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's the one thing that I've learned. I've had to learn over the times. So yeah, bro. There were some very low moments. I'm grateful to brothers like Big Taj who collaborated with me on Punjabi ID. For the Education Road, during those moments of difficulty. And, I'm so buzzing with how that collaboration came out. At the end of the day, it's 2 northern rappers, 2 Sikh rappers from the north of England. I don't think that's ever been heard or seen before. So at the end of the day, it's respect to brothers like him who helped encourage and keep me motivated as well, man, because at the end of the day, look, I seen him touring, doing great things in the community, and at the end of the day, the fact that he was willing to collaborate with me, and then we put this track out, we did the video, that was definitely a moment of happiness for me, you know what I mean? And then before that, we did the Step Back release as well, featuring cameo appearances from my brother JGSK as well, our, Nahang Swords master. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all about the unity, bro. We're not trying to segregate people. We're trying to bring as many different types of people together. It's a bit of a taboo subject, but, there's a lot of segregation within our own communities. And at the end of the day, Step Back was a message of empowerment for everybody to be together, you know what I mean, and to break down these boundaries, man, and hail and represent each other.
Wow, deep. Now, I think you've already touched on family support and what you do, because you've got that in spades, haven't you?
Say that again, Dav. Sorry, I think there's a little lag.
You've already touched on family support in what you do. So you've obviously you got your dad, you got your missus, and you got
young lion right there as well.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, did you ever have that where I don't think you would have had it, but where anyone said, do this other profession, why are you doing music? No, you never had that, did you?
Well,
because your dad's a legend.
I mean, look, the thing is, look, my mother was the one who was like, look, you want to do music, whatever, bella degree, like, parquea, bella, yeah, right? I want to do this, man. She's like, no, well, yeah, Carla, but you need to show to me your commitment to music by studying the degree. Yeah.
Wow, proper.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, a degree is not just a piece of paper. It's a commitment to show that you can do something and complete something over a long period of time. Yeah. Just an injection of education in your head. It's a commitment as a human. Can you start and finish something? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's my personal understanding. So, I'm grateful. I got pushed, as mentioned, CLC, Allerton Grange. There was some great people there. We did after school classes in music production and, music education. And I believe the chapel's called Dan from Manchester.
Okay.
Yeah. He obviously very quickly learned, the fact that he was from Manchester, he very quickly learned about, my relationship with, Inder and Aziz. And, he knew Aziz personally as well. And of course, the whole Ian background. So, for me, I'm grateful to great people like him who pushed me, and got me to the Leeds Technology College, after high school. And he advised, he goes, look, he opened the doors to say, look, you've got Leeds College of Music, you've got Leeds Technology College. So ultimately, I went to Leeds Technology College because of the media course that they had there. And, there was a great lecturer there called Nigel Schofield,
cool.
Who, was an engineer, a radio broadcast journalist. He was involved in quite a few things over the years, involved with the Beatles. So, big respect to him. Yeah, he showed us a lot of time, learned a lot of cool things from him. And part of that, study at college was it's what I spoke about actually when I was speaking with Noreen on the Asian Network. I spoke about my media learning at college, and I took the audio path, which included radio broadcast, and one of my modules was to put together a radio show. And my show was all about, it was called the Sunday Session, and it was a hip-hop and reggae fusion 1 hour, and put it together, everything from the script to the actual transmission. And I mentioned to her how nervous I was when I did the actual live demonstration to pass that part of the module, and I was mad nervous. You get me? I was very new to the college. I was very young. I didn't know my lecturers that well at that point, because it was like sort of first year, whatever. And and basically, by the third or fourth track, big tunes are played, and the lecturers were absolutely buzzing, and that for me was an experience that I just wanted to hold on to for as long as I could. So, big vibes, man.
Wow. All right, so we're going to switch it up. Tell me a funny studio or live performance story, something funny that's happened.
I saw this, and I was thinking, right, what could I actually talk about? I mean, I think for me, there's been, so many great moments, so many moments of happiness, so many so many difficult moments in the studio as well. Because as you know, it's not all just, it's not all, smiles and roses. Yeah. In the production world, there are tough moments. Yeah. And there are moments where you've got to dig deep and get through. So at the end of the day, in terms of funny moments, I'll never forget where we did a live performance at an event called East at Leeds. Okay. Which was at the Wardrobe. So shout out to Shiiine and all the amazing people who put that together. Yeah, and it was one of the first times that I performed with a full live band. So we had Mr. G on percussion and tabla behind me. We had Faye Kenny on vocals. We had Chris Dawkins on guitar, and we had Kenny Higgins on bass. Yeah. And the story that night was basically Kenny, unfortunately, was a little bit delayed. So we did the first few songs without him. But we had to get on. We had to get on. You know, at the end of the day, there was a time schedule. There were other acts. You know, there was Universal Dial Project headlining. You know, big sounds there. So, you know, we didn't. You know, they came from India at the end of the day, so we couldn't delay them. So, you know, to be warming up for them was a big vibe for me, man. So yeah, the funny story was did the first couple of numbers without him, but it was cool because it was nice to just feel just the backbeat of the song. Do you know what I mean? And people were still vibing. They couldn't tell, you know, that is that song missing bass line or what? Do you know what I'm saying? They couldn't tell because, you know, we got heavy backbeats. So it's all good, isn't it? So that was my funny story. Yeah, I'll never forget that night.
Love it. Right. Who would you like to collaborate with and why?
It's a tough one, that, you know, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
I can't remember who I wrote down. Right, okay, so oh yes, I remember. Okay, so from a Punjabi hip hop point of view, one rapper that I would love to link up with, very influential brother, representing Delhi 18, it would have to be Mr. Classic himself, Prabdeep.
Wow.
The brother is just too sick, man. And, you know, don't get me wrong, there's some very influential sing rappers out there, you know, El Fresh, you know, to start with, you know, an absolute legend. And, you know, he's shown a lot of love and support as well for what I do on BBC Radio, so big respect right there. But, you know, for me, I don't know, just like Prabdeep for me would be a vibe. I'd love to link up with El Fresh as well. Don't get me wrong, an absolute legend. But yeah, if I was to answer that question, it would be Prabdeep, man. You know, what an absolute sick lyricist, man. Big flows.
Wow. Now, what about on the Western side of things?
I'd love to link up with Skip Marley, man.
Sick.
Skip Marley, man. You know, third generation. Yeah, you know, once again, you know, like, similar age, aren't we, me and him? So we both come from that, you know, representing for that lineage. You get me? So yeah, what an absolute dream it would be to link up with a brother like him.
Superb, my bro. We see we've already got the core coming out in a few days, right? Now what? I'm not going to ask for any names of any projects, but I presume because you're a very busy man. I'm just thinking, how the hell is he juggling radio and all the studio work? So I don't know how you're doing it, to be honest, but it's insane. But this year, you know, what can we expect from you this year?
Yeah, I mean, you know, first of all, I just want to shout out to everybody, all the artists, all the musicians, you know, producers, you know, people online, people pushing for the good vibes and the music. You know, this year, we were hoping, you know, January, you know, we would have been like a bit more normalized, but unfortunately we're still in this very difficult position. So it's delayed quite a bit. You know, I should have had, we had a video shoot planned like literally last weekend, which obviously didn't go ahead. So, you know, I've got Garnet Yar. Yeah, bro. Just sort of waiting to get to a position where we can actually get back together and we can celebrate the sounds, and, you know, we can get these music videos done, and, you know, we can get a package put together, and then we can start pushing it to great people like yourself, you know, on the radio, supporting the music, you know. So yeah, I've got some nice collaborations coming up. I'll tell you what, rather than giving the title of the name, I'll tell you, you know, just so the title doesn't get out there too much and, you know, whatever, I'll give you the names of the people that I'm linking up with, Cool. So this next track is a collaboration with Canadian producer Harm Sandhu, who's written beats for the likes of like Sikandar Kalo, you get me, So, you know, big up, representing for that 2021 flow, so big respect to my brother Hadmeet right there, he's been supporting, you know, for from day one, really. So yeah, big respect to him. So he's a producer, and I've linked up with my bro G Exclusive from Leeds, a chap called Gopal, and, you know, big up to him. He's been pushing Asian fusion sounds for Leeds, you know, for a good minute, So we're very excited for this track to be coming out, you know, very upbeat, very dancey, you know, shining our Punjabi culture with them West Coast sounds, you get me? So yeah, I'm super hyped about that release. Video shoot soon come, as soon as we're allowed to get back together.
Yes.
The track afterwards is a track with a superb singer from Manchester. Shout out to my sister here, Tasia Sky, who I'm gonna get you to get onto her music as well, man. She does some great sounds.
Thank
yeah,
you, my bro.
amazing
Thank
work. And yeah, Tasia Sky, you know, what a vibe. You know, this track is, you know, it's mixed, it's mastered, it's ready to go. We just need to get to a date now so we can shoot the video. We were aiming for March, so once again, you know, government guideline dependent. Yeah. So you know, an amazing northern collaboration. You know, Leeds to Manchester right here. From Leeds to Mani, what a vibe, you know, Punjabi fusion, Afro beats, hip hop, you know, you name it, man. It's definitely a feel good vibe for the summer. I can't wait to share it with you all. You know, we've got collaborations with the WINACHI tribe coming up as well, with vocals from OBE, Tyndale Thomas, who's an amazing choir singer. So, you know, that's on the cards, due to be mixed. I've got another collaboration coming out with Punjabi rapper Rawab Del Rey, from Mumbai to London, my bro MC Solomon.
Yes, MC Solomon, he's sick.
Yeah, man.
Respect.
Yeah. Big respect for him right there, pushing that Asian fusion globally. Yeah. And then we've got an amazing singer from Cali, West Coast sound, my bro Aftar. Yeah, so he's also featuring on that track. So yeah, there's a couple. And and I've literally just finished recording vocals with sister Danetta D3 for a real old school throwback sound as well. So that's Leeds on a track right there, man. So yeah, watch out for that. So that's about 4 to 5 different projects there. Few more in the bag as well that are due to, you know, be put to the table. So yeah, I'm very excited, very, very excited for the music this year.
Bro, how on earth are you juggling this and working for the BBC doing radio?
It's Malik the Agala, you get me? Yeah, John and Elikiasi Menukaranu. I'm just doing it, bro. You get me? I'm just grateful. Absolutely grateful, man. I have a lot of fun doing it. Don't get me wrong, Singh, you know, bro. Yeah. All the hours that go into it, behind the scenes, behind the smiles on Instagram, there's a lot of hours that go, you know, into it. Yeah, Singh?
Trust me.
No, bro. And that's a fine balance as well, you know, between your family life, you know, your personal life as well, your health, you get me, making sure you're doing all the right things you need to do. There's only 24 hours in a day, but we make it 36 hours in a day, don't we, Dan?
Yeah, we do, bro. Trust me. I like the way you related it to me, because you know that I live in the studio.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was great because, look, you know, at the end of the day, look, when I was chatting with Noreen as well, you know, she also highlighted those same vibes about, you know, studio life, being stuck in there all the time. So at the end of the day, look, it's not just on one level, it's at every level, yeah, because that's where the grind is, you get me? That grindstone, we just keep churning it, man.
Wow. Right, now this one's a bit of is a deep question.
Go on, Akid.
Here we go. Is there anything you've changed your mind about musically? In other words, you felt you were wrong about something, then you went back and rectified it? And that was a bit of a weird question. It's a very, very open sort of question.
Angie, what, as in like my own music, or music that I thought I didn't like but then I do like, or what? Like, how do you mean? Specify that, please.
Oh, thank you for that. You can answer it both ways. Perfect.
Dig a hole. Right. Yeah. I mean, look. At the end of the day, look, as a as a lyricist, as a mics man, as a flows man, yeah. You rehearse sabariyaz and alunda, yeah? And at the end of the day, you find spaces, don't you? So, you know, the more you do your riyaz, the more space you find, yeah? So, you know, at the end of the day, it's the more fluent you get with it. So, at the end of the day, you know, in terms of your flows, for example, you know, a song that you recorded 2 years ago, because you've lived and breathed it for 2 years and you know the lyrics off the back of your head and you can sing it in your sleep and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
You then find how you can maybe take breaths at a different part, or you shorten a pronunciation of a certain word to then fit it in there, and then you've got more space to fit in that. So at the end of it, it's a consistent evolution, isn't it? You know what I mean, in terms of your development with it. So, you know, it naturally happens. It naturally happens. You know, you listen back to a song you've done 2 years ago, after going through the motions of it, you could probably spit that same verse even faster if you wanted to, by finding the gaps, you know what I mean, or whatever. So it's about refining, isn't it? Everything's about refining. But, you know, one thing that the engineers around me said to me, they said, listen, once it's done, move on. Don't keep trying to refine things too much.
Wow.
You know, because otherwise, you're going to be there redoing the same thing again and again, and you're like 3 years later, and next man's already dropped something similar that, you know, to your idea through, you know, the grace of the Almighty. You know, everybody gets influences, don't they?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the one idea that you might have had, somebody else might pick up on it, you know, in that same time you're still trying to do the first verse. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
True.
They're mad lessons of strength. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, everybody should be entitled to, look, what's not been done before? That's my first question. You know, as a music lover, what's not a recycle of something else, yeah?
True.
So at the end of the day, everything's influenced by each other. So, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's just about, just enjoying it. You know, do it, put it down, mix it off, move on to the next one. Yeah, and then just listen back to it as your own reference and enjoy the vibe. You get me? And hopefully somebody else will enjoy the vibe. So yeah, that's my own personal reflection there of, you know, how you can change things, and your own personal understanding can change and adapt and develop, you know, over time. So yeah, my only words of vibes on that would be just to, you know, just get it down, enjoy it whilst you're doing it, and move on to the next one. You get me? Don't keep trying to refine things too much, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, you know, once that stone is polished, move.
Yes.
You know, because like my dad would say, "Ragdi jana," like you'll be left with nothing. You'll be left with dust by the time you've polished it so much. You get what I'm saying? So enjoy it whilst it's happening. Move on in that heartbeat. You get me? And let's get on to the next story.
Love it.
In terms of music, bro. I mean, look. At the end of the day, there's always that time of musical maturity in it, you know what I mean, where you don't understand, you don't appreciate sounds because you don't understand the sounds at certain ages, yeah. And it's only when you get older that when you reflect back to earlier sounds from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, you know, you then really get to understand it because you're a little bit older. You then understand what the artist was going through, what the musician was going through. Because at the end of the day, look, how are you really meant to understand a love song at the age of 9? How are you meant to really understand a song about depression at the age of 10 or whatever? Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? So it's about relevance. You know, you have music around you in your life that's relevant to your age. But then when you get to a certain age, and then, you know, through the wonders of technology and the internet, you know, you can explore and learn and go back and revisit and research and study, you know, older sounds, older artists. And then when you're in a more similar position to where they was in that time, it's only then you can really reflect and understand what they're actually on about, you know, looking back at all the difficult times like people like Elvis went through. But when you hear his music, you don't actually hear that, do you? When you're young, you just hear the funk rock and roll of it. But when you hear his lyrics and you actually go through his story, what the line and everything else, Johnny Cash, you know, there's so much to be learned, yeah, but you won't learn it at a young age unless it's like really pumped into you, you know, by your parents and your peers. So at the end of the day, everything's there. We're all sponges on this earth to learn and grow off each other. The most important message is, you know, as people in an older generation, keep motivating and encouraging the younger generations and pushing them towards good things. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you can pass on any messages of wisdom, do that. You know, because like for me growing up in school, as great as school was and great as the teachers were around me and my friends and all the rest of it, yeah, we were discussing this, you know, did they really set us up for real life in terms of, you know, money in your pocket, life skills, all the rest of it? Yes, all the education was there, and the history and the geography and the maths, English, science, all the rest of it, yeah, the foreign languages, physical education, you know, all of that was there as a basis and a ground level. But ultimately, you know, make sure that you're helping people actually set themselves up, you know, for real life scenarios, you know, accounting, money in your pocket, real life skills, cooking, cleaning, you know, just the basics, man. Yeah. Keep spreading on their messages, man. Don't keep pushing people in the wrong direction. If you can help somebody, make sure you do it. Yeah.
Very, very true.
No time to exclude. You get me?
I absolutely love that answer. I love that answer. I was just thinking in my head, I thought, you're a true credit to the British Asian music scene, fusion as well, and also to the BBC.
Thank you.
Not really, because really, and I'm not a nice person in the terms of if someone's crap, I'll say you're crap. I mean that's the way I am as a person.
You're too funny, you know, fam. You're way too funny, man. I love it, bro. I wouldn't change you for anything, man. Honestly, big respect to you, man. Yeah, bro. I'm just buzzing, man. Look, at the end of the day, I'm influenced by so many amazing things, so many amazing people that I've seen on the stage, so many amazing people that I've seen around me. And at the end of the day, I just wanna do what I feel is right by me. You know what I mean? And big respect to local artists like Cocky K, Jay Bravo, rappers who influenced me when I was a very young rapper, in that scene as the different guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as the up and up on that in that scene. Yeah, and they gave me nothing but love and respect. You get me? And they kept pushing me, and the whole Lyrically Justified Foundation. Large up to my big brother Harry, DJ Psyker, who provided an amazing platform for so many artists in the Yorkshire area. They all used to travel to Leeds to perform at the open mic night at a venue that's now shut down. It used to be called Carpe Diem. So
wow.
Ultimately, I'm grateful and thankful to all the great artists, musicians, people in the media like yourself, who have supported me, and give thanks, man. Just reflecting on some early moments, like in 2012, like one of my biggest highlights was, the Asian Network put a focus on Leeds, and I got a call from, DJ Yasser. Just come and speak to him. Yeah, bro, I cannot tell you what a moment that was for me, man. I was a very young man. Yeah, sorry, I just need to do my nose again here, bro. I'm running like mad. Sorry.
All right.
And winter blues, as they say. Yeah. So yeah, DJ Yasser, big respect for that call up, man. And like literally, I got the call up. I got to go to Broadcasting House. My cousin drove me up. We had such a blast. And I got to go on there and talk about my music. He played two of my songs, and I performed one of my songs live, like a hype on a mic sort of vibe. Yeah. And just what an opportunity to be representing, for me, Mr. Singh Bagwala on the mic, to be spitting into that mic, and it's got the AN logo on it, yeah, the pink one, back in them days, yeah. I was just like blown away, it was just like a huge opportunity for me, man. And I'm just so grateful to have, at that time, because the album wasn't even out, bro, yeah? So, for me, I was still in the production of it all, and the mixes that you heard on air, they were sort of at that current point of mix. Do you get what I'm saying? It wasn't even the final thing. So for me to have been on that platform, to have been represented and supported by them, was just the biggest thing for me, man. You know what I mean? So nothing but respect for, everything that they do to represent and embrace and push British Asian culture. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was a massive stepping stone for me. And on the back of that, I've then had the opportunity to perform, as mentioned, at local events like DROPLeeds, and I've performed at Hyde Park Unity Day. I've done like the Mela, yeah, I've done Manchester Mela, I've done Newcastle Mela, I've done London Mela, Love to Dance Stage, with Celt Islam. So at the end of the day, I'm so grateful for all the amazing people that have been around me, that have continued to support and push in media publications, online magazines, radio, YouTube. I'm just grateful. Do you know what I mean? Like, respect to everybody. Keep pushing.
I think many opportunities in your life will come about because of the way you are as a person as well, and I think you're a very likable character, and that helps you get you very far. Because if you're not a likable character, I mean, I'm not the most likable character at most times, to be honest, but.
No, you're too funny. You're way too funny.
It's true.
At the end of the day, bro, you always bring a smile to people's face. Yeah, when you're broadcasting, bro, and you're having your moments of panic, I think they're the funniest moments.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
Trust me, when you're having, because that's real, bro. That's real thing, man. You get me? You're not just presenting, you're broadcasting, you're presenting. You're producing yourself. You get me? Shout out to Claire, who's always supporting the thing. But yeah, man, you always bring a smile to people's face, bro.
Thank you. I'm glad I amuse you at the BBC.
No, you just amuse me, bro. Literally, you know what I mean? Yeah, because that's the realness, bro. That's the realness there. When you're like, oh my God, I can't sleep at night thinking what's gonna go wrong. At the end of the day, that's real talk. Yeah, nothing fake about it, bro. Nothing, nothing masked. You get me? That's just the realness, bro. So yeah, man.
Bro,
keep doing you, bro. Keep being you, man.
Thank you, my bro. Okay. Could you please tell everyone your socials?
All right. Okay. So yeah. First of all, shout out to Dav at RadiAsian. Thank you so much for the opportunity yeah, to bring man on here. We're even doing this on video as well. So, respect to you, man. And, for those who have, caught the vibe today and you'd like to find out more about me, you can hit us up at SilverFinger Singh. And that's on, your typical places of like, Facebook and your Twitters and your Instagram feed. If you search me for on the YouTube, SilverFinger Singh, you'll find me. Please subscribe to our channel. Yeah, I'd love to get more people involved on that. Because we've got some great content coming out, starting with this release on this coming Tuesday, the 26th of January with the core. And big up to all my friends, all the family, everybody who's sent me messages of support throughout the years, all my day one brothers who message me on a regular to just check in, keep that mental health in check.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
All my brothers know exactly who you are, nothing but love and respect, for always just checking in with man, seeing how mans are getting on. And, ultimately, big up to every, media publication, radio, online, website, Instagram live, all the, everybody for supporting, me and helping me, with the music and the broadcasting. Yeah. So, just big respect, man. And, make sure you keep supporting my bro Dav as well, RadiAsian. Yeah. Thank you. The vibes are only getting stronger, man.
Oh, thank you, bro. But you've omitted one major fact. You haven't told people when your show is on BBC Radio Leeds.
Uh-oh. Yeah, man. Well, look, yeah, bro, with the grace of God, we're having a lot of fun at BBC Radio Leeds. I just want to use this opportunity to just give a massive shout out to our chief editor, Sanjeev Buttu, who's an absolutely wonderful person, so much respect for him. He's contributed quite a lot over the years, man. So big respect right there, for giving me his time. Shout out to my producer, Shahid, who's doing some great things right now. He's our senior evening programs editor. Yeah, and he multitasks quite a lot. He's got a lot of presenters that he's got to, juggle, make sure that they're doing well, checking in with us all the time, getting our schedules put in place. So big respect to him, for giving me, the time to come and practice and learn, the trade and the art of broadcasting. And I'd like to just shout out to all my friends and family, that I'm part of at, BBC Yorkshire, BBC Leeds, and my extended family at the Asian Network. Shout out to Che, for giving me the opportunity to come support him. Future Sounds 2019, what an amazing moment that was. And, I'll never forget the opportunity as part of BBC Music Day when Bradford One Extra was put together, which was history that was history made, bro, because it was the first time a 24-hour pop-up radio station was broadcasted on FM and DAB. Wow. And, I got to join forces with, big man DJ Limelight. Shout out to my bro Limes, big respect to him. What an amazing guy behind the decks, bro. You want to see this guy, cook tracks together, bro. No headphones, you get me? That's the hashtag, bro. No headphones, yeah. My man just cutting them tracks up big time, yeah. So big respect to him. Wow. And we and him got to do this amazing Yorkshire Asian fusion mixtape, bro. Like, it was sick. I got to play all the body sounds from Yorkshire from over the years to where we are now. Got to put some great highlights onto some great artists, as well as paying respect to the legends as well, man. And, through the grace of the Almighty, that broadcast that was on that Bradford One Extra, alongside like Kenny Allstar, Shiiine B, you name it, some big heavy hitters, DJ Target. Yeah. Shout out to my bro, Faisal, the voice of Bradford, who got to do a show with Kenny Allstar. Yeah.
Sick.
Things, the things that dreams are made of. But, thanks to the grace of the Almighty, that fusion mixtape that I got to do with Limelight even got to broadcast on the Asian Network and BBC One Extra. So, big respect to everybody, man, for supporting and, keep encouraging. And, for me, it's like, if I can just, if my experiences can help to motivate and encourage anybody else who wants to get into this, then, feel free, get in touch, man. Get in touch with Dav as well, who's got years of experience.
Thank
and
you.
He'll always, be there to give you any messages of support. And I'm here too, man. Yeah. So, shout out to everybody who's on their grind in any art form, especially this year, especially over the last year as well. I've seen more illustrators coming to the forefront as well. So shout out to brothers like Mesmeraki, who's doing some great things as well. Make sure you go support the art, man, no matter what form. vocal, illustration, visual, broadcast, you name it. Keep supporting the movements, people.
Wow. So your show is on what day?
I've still not answered that question, have I? So yeah, at the end of the day, as mentioned, the schedule has changed now due to, the new restrictions in place. And so at the moment, we have the absolute pleasure of bringing you the finest Asian fusion sounds on a Saturday night. 7 till 8, just before the BBC West Yorkshire Introducing show kicks in. So what an honour to warm up for my sister, Emily Pilbeam, who recently got to go represent at BBC Radio 1 over Christmas. So shout out to her and all the team. Shout out to my bro, Joel Mitchell as well, from BBC Radio Leeds, now doing breakfast on Radio 1. Sick. Yeah? Make sure you go sign in with him, bro. So yeah, Saturday nights. At the end of the day, guys, just tune in with me on my socials. Anytime there's a show, I will let you guys know based on the scheduling. Shout out to my bro Archie as well at BBC Leeds, doing some big things, working alongside me with the scheduling right now. And shout out to Shahid and all the team, man. Yeah, keep it locked. 92.4 FM, DAB, BBC Radio Leeds. Keep it locked. SilverFinger Singh signing in.
I love it. That is proper. I love it. And one thing I want to quickly raise,
Angie,
you're the kind of brother who actually drops a phone call to another presenter to actually see. For me, it was like, am I sane? Am I okay? And I thought, yeah. And thank you, because I am back. I'm a nut job. I'll be honest. I am. For someone to actually phone in and just ran me back into reality a little bit. So which is good. Thank you for that. And now we've come to the inevitable part of the show where I get you to say, hi, this is SilverFinger Singh. You're listening to RadiAsian, the #1 station for the Asian invasion.
Shall I do it in your accent or my accent?
Do it in your accent.
#1 station for the Asian invasion.
Thank you.
I'll never forget that, Dav, honestly. But yo, big respect to all the listeners worldwide. My brother Dav is getting some amazing sounds out there to many different countries and people, man. So big respect to everybody for clicking the link, the Mixcloud and everywhere else, where Dav is pushing this, yeah? But yo, as you know, it's SilverFinger Singh signing in, and you are listening to RadiAsian, the #1 station for the Asian invasion.
Yes! You murked it. That's why you normally wear that military gear, man, because you knew he was going to murk it. You know what I mean? It's sick. Okay.
Apes never kill apes, my bro. Trust me.
Yeah. Respect, man. And could you please do one more thing? Could you introduce the track, The Core?
Respect. Yes, it's SilverFinger Singh. You're listening to RadiAsian, and my bro Dav is about to spin us the brand new release coming out this Tuesday, the 26th of January. Silver Lining Records. It's SilverFinger Singh and Manuka, and this is The Core.
Thank you, my brother, for phoning in. God bless you, man.
God bless you too, my brother. SilverFinger Singh signing out.
I love it. God bless you, Mela. Bye. Wow, what an interview and a half. Wow. Right, back to the sound effects. Can you believe it? I hope you got